I did not build my business from my bedroom or a 12-hour work grind. I built it during nap times, I built it during bedtime, and I built it while breastfeeding a kiddo, between diaper changes, between homeschooling, between reheating my coffee up for the third time, while having a husband who worked 80+ hour work weeks as a mechanic. I did not do this with thousands and thousands of dollars to invest into my business. I did this without babysitters, and I did it without pretending to be someone that I'm not. So this is going to be the pink collar series. This is all about how I started a social media based business in part-time hours. It is super profitable and it is a powerful business, and I've been able to go and just had so many opportunities because of this business. I want to talk about how we can run businesses and be entrepreneurs while still raising good kids, wearing cozy outfits, without having to go to Bali or have these expensive handbags. It is just about being a real person, supporting a real family. I want to take the time to say this is not an MLM, this is not PLR, this is not any of that stuff. I started as a freelance writer when I was 19. So part of my story is I found out I was pregnant with my second baby, and my first was only 6 months old. So they were just about 13-ish months apart, which was so crazy because when I went to my ultrasound, I was actually 10 weeks along. I was like, this is so crazy. But it was at that moment I was bartending part-time. I was in school full-time online, and I just knew that there needed to be a shift in my work. So that's when I started as a virtual assistant and did freelance writing, all of that good stuff. Over the years, I started to get better at my craft, which is something I highly recommend. If you want to have a very profitable online business, you need to focus on one niche or get your clients one really good result. Whether you're a coach or service provider, that's one of the biggest things. I work with a lot of life coaches, and I work with a lot of individuals who are very health-centered, whether this is in women's hormone health, natural health practitioners. That is the main people that I help, because I've been able to get really strategic on how I help them both on social media with ads, just the way that create sales pages, all of that good stuff. The reason I am the most excited for this series is because my husband was a heavy-duty mechanic. He is a Red Seal, ticketed, all of the good things. He was working 80+ hour work weeks, and we had 4 kids under 4 at the time, and it was really difficult. We lived 2 hours away from anyone that was able to support us regularly. There was not a lot of childcare where we lived. It was such a struggle bus, and it was difficult having him gone all the time. He basically seen them while they were sleeping. And he's an amazing dad, very, very attentive parent. And so I realized that was not the life that I wanted. I knew I could do random tasks for people as a virtual assistant, organizing Google inboxes, writing content for people, posting things, engagement, like just the bare minimums that a virtual assistant would do. But once again, I had that inkling. And so one of the most frustrating things that I had to realize, both my husband and I, is I could out-earn him in a 12-hour work week, and it wasn't because I worked harder than him. Half the time I work in the bath. I'm not even gonna lie. The other half of the time, when it's nice out, I'm in Canada, so it's not always beautiful outside. But in the summertime, I'm working at the picnic table. So I'm working in the bathtub or a picnic table, or any coffee shop that I want. I'm in a coffee shop right now. And it was just so crazy to me that in a 12-hour work week, I could out-earn it. And it's not because I worked harder than him, and it's not because of anything other than the fact I leveraged my emotional intelligence and got really good at a craft that was infinitely scalable. And the thing is with his line of work, it is very needed. It is very hard work. He is very well educated. He can diagnose any vehicle, fix any vehicle. Like, he's freaking phenomenal. But it didn't matter, because that type of career is not infinitely scalable unless you own a company. And although he has his own registered business, all blah, 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 didn't matter, because when you're one individual, you can only scale it to the amount of time and hours that you can pour into it. So by me starting this and having something that was infinitely scalable I have a membership, I have courses, I have group programs, I have scalable offers where I do a revenue share. So I make a certain amount per month, and then based on the results that I get my clients, I also get essentially a top up. And so once again, it has nothing to do with being able to work harder. It's just being more strategic. And I would love for this entire series to kind of talk about some of the ways that you can scale things better, utilize social media in a way that is going to get you better results, and then also some of the practical things they do to balance both being a homeschool mom and also being someone I've been in this industry for almost 8 years, so I'm not new, and I've been able to really do things my way. I've done the means wearing yoga pants all the time, no fancy designer bags, no fancy vehicle. I live in a normal home. I'm a normal human being. And I think that's just really important, because you see on social media all of these fancy people, they are going on these trips to don't know why I keep saying Bali, but like Australia and, backpacking in Europe, and which I love, and I love that for them. But it's not the typical for moms who are just present with their kiddos and homeschooling and just living a normal life. And so I just want to showcase what it looks like as a normal human being to be able to get these results. I just remember dreaming that would be possible, and to be able to have a multiple six-figure business and live the lifestyle we do is such a treat, and it's such a blessing, and there isn't a day that goes by that I'm not grateful for that. So without further ado, subscribe, like, let's check out the rest of the series. I have some interesting topics. I have my laptop here. So one of them is going to be 5 things as a pink collar woman that my 9-to-5 would never be able to get me. Side note, I studied psychology for 5 years, and so it's just very interesting, the 9-to-5 world versus the entrepreneur world. I want to talk about that. The other one is how I built a business during nap times, and I want to talk about the businesses I would start today if I had to do it all over again. If this business disappeared for whatever reason, what I would do. And the third video I have is how exactly I outearn my husband, my heavy-duty mechanic husband, in per-diem hours. I actually want to dive into that. I don't want to gatekeep. I want to share the strategies. I'm also going to be talking about some of the strategies I did to make my business go viral, to accumulate these clients and then retain them. So those are going to be the 4 videos. Definitely stay tuned because I'm so freaking excited to talk about this. So like, subscribe, and I'm so grateful you're here.